Time to musk up.
Wow. Never ceases to amaze me. What cologne you gonna go with? London Gentleman or... Wait. No. Hold on. Blackbeard's Delight.
No. She gets a special cologne. It's called Sex Panther by Odeon. It's illegal in 9 countries. Yep. It's made with bits of real panther, so you know it's good.
It's quite pungent.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, it's a formidable scent. It stings the nostrils. In a good way.
Yeah.
Brian, I'm going to be honest with you. That smells like pure gasoline.
They've done studies, you know. 60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Hollywood, Hollywood. We're in the office for a young mechanic. Can be a panic with just a good-looking pan. And any barmaid can...
Cause it's Friday, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Welcome back to episode 3 of Khnemu Kozak's Oscar Ballot podcast. I am Aaron Kozak, and with me, as always, is
Minura.
Yes. So today we're gonna kind of break it up a little bit to focus mostly on the music, as we said we would, and we're gonna go through, and I think we might be making our picks today at the end, but we're going to take some time and go through it. You've been watching anything? I know it's a little short turnaround this time, but did you get anything in?
I didn't get anything in, actually. The only thing I started watching was the Book of Boba Fett, little Star Wars TV.
You've lost your voice.
Yeah, I know. I guess it's the weather. It's this wonky weather up here in Chicago. My voice is about at half strength, about at 50%. Yeah.
Well, sorry to hear that. I have also been sick, but I have an earache, so I'm actually deaf in my left ear right now.
Damn.
The weather in Texas just keeps bouncing back and forth between warm and freezing. And so every time that happens, which is about once a week, it makes me sick. So it's been quite awful. But yes, I too, like I said last week, I'm working my way through Peaky Blinders. And just a little inside baseball, we're doing a pretty quick turnaround on this episode because we wanted to do scores. So like, for example, we do not have a new box office this week, and we do not have a new coming soon this week because it's the same as our last episode. And so this episode in particular will be primarily focused on music and us going through that, and but we can still, we can still do, because I was able to pull a little bit of my S together. We could do a little movie news if you have time.
Sure, I can do some birthdays too.
Oh, wonderful. Well, we'll be ready for that then.
News team, assemble!
Sheriff murdered, crops burned, stores looted, people stampeded, and cattle raped.
This one's going to be, I think this is going to be a groaner, but Elvis is the most streamed Best Picture Oscars nominee as measured by Nielsen. But they have made a hyphenate that says, but that might not be saying much. Baz Luhrmann's Elvis, starring Austin Butler as the gyrating rock and roll icon, has been streamed for a total of about 2.7 billion minutes by HBO Max viewers in the U.S. since it came to platform August 8th, 2022, according to new data from Nielsen. That makes Elvis the most streamed title on U.S. subscription services among the films nominated for the Oscar Best Picture category this year, but only if you are looking at platforms which Nielsen reports metrics, which does not include Paramount Plus, which would be Top Gun, and it does not include Showtime, which is where Everything Everywhere All at Once is. But there's zero chance. I don't know. I don't have any data to back this up, but I don't see any possible realm where Showtime outstreams HBO Max.
That's a good point.
And Paramount Plus, I did that free trial for South Park, and then I was out of there. I did not. It's just too many services, and I just they need a little more content. The amount of new content is not enough for me to pay for it at this point.
There are so many services, and they are creating so much new content to fill the services. And really, I miss the days when everything was just on Netflix, like in Hulu. Like, I just want to watch movies. I just want access to watching movies.
And I found out Causeway is on Apple TV. That's why we cannot find it in theaters. It's on Apple TV. Which, again, I think my wife might have paid for it and has it, but we don't watch it, so we're paying for nothing. I can tell you that much if we do have it, but I'm going to check in and see on that. But yeah, Elvis. So as we said in the previous, we're not the biggest Elvis fans as a movie.
No, definitely not. No, yeah. And that streaming data, I like. Yeah, by leaving those two movies out, and the fact that Elvis has been streaming since August. I mean, the other films have not been streaming that long. That's just clickbait data. That's all that is.
Sure. And if they had put Everything Everywhere on Netflix, it would have certainly, well, I won't say certainly, because it's the older crowd too. That Elvis, it's the Elvis fans. Like, between Beatles, Rolling Stones, and Elvis is my number 3. So he's not even my that key question. So we'll move on now. This is kind of a bummer, but good for him in the end. Kiwi Kwan lost his health insurance right after filming Everything Everywhere All at Once because no one wanted to hire him. This is obviously, Kiwi Kwan is the front runner to win the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor thanks to his performance in Everything Everywhere All at Once, which has already nabbed him prizes from the Golden Globes, Critics' Choice Award, and the SAG Awards. The upcoming Academy Awards will cap a 3-year journey Kwan has taken with Everything Everywhere All at Once. The A24 multiverse drama shot in January 2020 had to have its theatrical release held until the theatrical release wasn't until March 2022 because of COVID. So so that's why he wasn't working, which is just really gnarly for SAG. I mean, there probably should have been.
To lose your insurance.
It is, and they knew that too. They knew projects were at a standstill. I gotta say that one's kind of on SAG a little bit. That's kind of BS. They should have had an insurance waiver that year, I think. Are you SAG?
I was.
Yeah. Are you? So have you suspended your membership temporarily, or did you resign and protest for something?
I think I was suspended temporarily for non-payment of dues.
That's okay. You know what? Like all the SAG actors who win when they get their breakout role, they always catch up on their dues, and they were like, "I was behind on my dues forever. I was about to get kicked out of SAG." Yeah, so that's unfortunate. I mean, if you're not, it's not worth the screeners. You know what I mean? You got to get work. If you're not getting
that's the
work,
thing. If you're not getting the work, then what's the point? Yeah.
Yeah. Do they at least freeze? I'm SAG eligible, but I haven't joined because my reel isn't good enough, and so and then now that I have long hair, I have to kind of even start over a little bit too on my reel.
Right.
But I don't know. Did they at least freeze it? Like, are they compiling? Like, is it going to be $30,000 if you wait 10 years?
No. I think it's frozen. The amount is frozen.
Okay, well, that's at least something. Because when you get a big break, you won't care. So,
right? Yeah, I'll just be able to write a check, I suppose.
Yeah, and you'll feel good, and I mean, for the most part, actors are paying to play anyway. I mean, most low-level acting gigs, you barely cover your acting classes. You barely cover, like, it all adds up. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
the
Your
gas to get there.
transportation. Exactly. Yeah.
Your clothes. So I mean, I still think we need a union, but I just wish it was better. And especially with all these new streaming services, it seems like the opportunity should be tons of opportunity right now.
Right. You know? Yeah. I mean, it feels like the unions are like still struggling to keep up, you know, with all the different new kinds of contracts that are like developing and everything.
This is from The Hollywood Reporter. Aaron Taylor Johnson joins Robert Eggers' Nosferatu. Aaron Taylor Johnson has joined Bill Skarsgård, Nicholas Hoult, Lily Rose Depp, Emma Corrin, and Willem Dafoe in Focus Features Nosferatu, written and directed by Robert Eggers, who did The Lighthouse. Did you see The Lighthouse?
I did not know.
I love The Lighthouse. There is multiple Facebook groups of just Lighthouse memes. It's just got a nice, like, underground thing. I think that should be on one of your immediate must watches. It's very fun. And it's a two-hander. It is a straight up two-hander. Nothing else except for, I guess, a very brief appearance of a one other actor, and it's nothing. So production begins in Prague on film, which Skarsgård is set to play the vampire. Did you like? I've seen the original one, but I like the second one, obviously the best. I like Werner Herzog's version.
I've seen none. I haven't seen for him any versions of them.
It's pretty scary. The first one's so old that you're kind of watching it like you would a history book. You know what I mean? It's not like, you know, but the second one is crazy good makeup too. The second one's really, really good. It's old and it's dated and it's a little slow, but it's pretty good. I did a rewatch of that for Halloween this year with my wife, and even she liked it, and she usually falls asleep. So, so not a ton of articles today. Do you have any birthdays for us?
Yeah, we got a handful of birthdays.
How old are you anyway, Clarence? 293. Next May.
We're gonna start with a rest in peace birthday. Happy birthday to the late great James Doohan. James Doohan from Star Trek played Scotty, the ship's engineer. He passed away in 2005, but he would have been 103 today. Happy birthday to Heidi Swedberg. Heidi Swedberg. She played Susan, George's fiance on a couple of seasons of Seinfeld, who passed away from licking too many engagement envelopes. Too much glue. So happy birthday to her. She's 57 today.
I am on that episode right now. I literally Seinfeld. So I had a baby, and so when you have a baby, there's a lot of bottle times where you watch just like short things, and so I had never done Seinfeld, and I'm doing it beginning to end. But even in Seinfeld, I'm watching like half an episode at a time because that's about how long it takes. And I am literally I literally finally just got today to that episode. So that's so wild. Anyway, proceed.
Okay.
No spoilers, though. I haven't finished the episode yet. No spoilers.
Sorry, no spoilers.
Even though I guess this is the spoiler, I guess you just spoiled it for me because now I know somebody's going to die from licking the envelope. So here we go.
Yes. Well, nonetheless, enjoy. David Faustino from Married with Children. He was Bud Bundy. He's 49 today, as well as Jared Rushton. He was in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids back in the day. He is also 49 today. George Miller, director of Mad Max Fury Road, two other Mad Max movies back in the day, as well as a handful of other great pictures. He is 78 today. Jessica Biel, Mrs. Justin Timberlake, and actress in her own right, former star of Seventh Heaven, is 41 today. And Catherine Waterston, daughter of Sam Waterston, and an actress in her own right, from Inherent Vice and Prometheus is 43 years old today. Happy birthday to all those wonderful people.
Wow! 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 All I can say is wow!
We have a very special top 5 where we're going to do our top 5 favorite scores of all time. And much like P.T. Anderson, I'm going to assume you didn't go all John Williams.
No, I did not go all
You did
John
pick
Williams.
one John Williams, I'm going to guess, though, right?
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure. Well, so we're going to find out our favorite scores in our top 5 segments. So.
Let's play a game. All right. On the count of 3, name your favorite dinosaur. Don't even think about it. Just name it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Velociraptor.
Top 5 scores for me, Aaron Kozak. I want to first disclaim that I was in band, so I played some of these songs.
Wow.
Which gives them additional appreciation for me. But again, we were talking about favorites. This isn't necessarily a best ranking, but it is my favorite. So number 5, I'm going with James Horner's Apollo 13 score. I think the whole re-entry score, while they're re-entering the atmosphere at the end, I mean, it just, and if you want to talk about a score that like helped the movie, I'm gonna have to put Apollo 13 in there. Number 4, very, very, very fun score, very popular score. I'm going with Alan Silvestri's Back to the Future score, which just, I need no more need be said. It was, it's just a fun score to a fun movie, and it was my cell phone ringer for a while. Just very, very big fave of mine. The movie's also one of my faves. So,
is this the only Alan Silvestri score in your top 5?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm surprised. I thought you might have gone with Forrest Gump. So, but okay, that's fair.
I do love Forrest Gump, but like the Forrest Gump score, like the Back to the Future score is so much part of the movie. The Forrest Gump, aside from the opening feather sequence, I don't know if the score really, but when the DeLorean is getting up to 88 miles an hour and you have that music behind it, that's where the score wins for Back to the Future and those kinds of moments. Number 3, I did my John Williams pick, and it was a really tough call, but I've chosen to just go with Star Wars. I'm doing it. It's just the one. I don't know. It's just when the movie opens and that trumpet sounds and all the whole brass come in, what is a more memorable opening score than that? I just don't think there is one. Number 2, I was looking through all of the top lists, and I noticed this one doesn't make any of the top lists, and I just don't see how that's possible. But I'm going with Clint Mansell's Requiem for a Dream score. It's just because, like, that score, first of all, that score was so popular that you begin to hear it in trailers for like the rest of time. It always shows up in any dramatic trailers, but in that movie, if you take that score away, I don't know if the movie works, to be honest. I mean, and it's every part of it, it's like the dun 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 dun. And it just, and do you remember when that movie came out, and when we I guess we were in high school and college when that came out, but like I can remember people like in their dorm room listening to that song. I can remember it became something outside the movie, and so so that's my pick for number 2. And number 1, I put my cowboy hat on, and I'm going with the good, the bad, and the ugly. Morricone, obviously. And I just, It's the editing with the score, the vocal track over the music is part of the score. It's just very, very memorable. I can remember watching it with my grandfather when I'm a kid. It has lots of memories. So, yeah. So that was those are my top 5, and I'm very proud of them. I'm happy to put them on the board. So, please, any thoughts on Good and the Bad and the Ugly before we proceed with yours?
No, I mean, I don't really have any problems with your list at all.
Yes.
And no particular thoughts on the good and the bad and the ugly. Yeah, no, that's a great list. I have a similar energy to my list because I struggled with like the iconic versus the personal, like versus what I really love. Both in terms of like choosing between like a certain composer's material and just like what to include on the list. So number 5 actually is from Danny Elfman, and it's his score to Batman, 1989. It's the only superhero score. Yeah. It's and my struggle here was I think his score for Batman 89 is more iconic, but I personally kind of think his Batman Returns score is just a little bit better, and I prefer it a little bit more. It's a little more interesting and tuneful and playful.
So wait, which one is on the list? Are we talking 1 or 2? I think we should commit to it.
One.
This one
is on the list.
That is a delightful score.
Yes, it's wonderful. Yes. So yeah, that's my number 5. Number 4, I have to go with Nino Rota and The Godfather, because it just makes the movie in so many ways, from the opening horn to the organ music that plays during the murder montage at the end, the romantic theme in Sicily, just the music of that film is so much of what keeps you from thinking about the fact that you're watching a movie about a family full of killers,
Number 30 on the Classic FM list. Way too low.
Yes. Yeah.
Way too low. Number 30? Jeez. That should have easily been a top 10.
I don't disagree. Though there are lots of things to choose from. Number 3, I got to go a composer on your list as well, Ennio Morricone. But a little more contemporary. My introduction to him was with my choice, The Untouchables.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, I should have picked that. Oh, I should have picked that. Yeah. I'm jealous I didn't pick that. I didn't think of that.
That's like probably like the first time I watched that movie. The score is probably what stuck with me the most. That music is just so
that's the best
perfect.
Part. I mean, a really good Sean Connery performance, and Kevin Costner. Do you remember that game in college? I'm gonna tangent. You remember that game in college that we used to play at parties? I think we played it a couple times, where we would say, okay, so you're Kevin Costner, you're in the movie Waterworld. They're so over budget. It's just an absolute disaster. And it's your close up where you see land for the first time. What do you do? What do you do? What does your face look like when you see land for the first time in Waterworld? Oh. Let's hear a little bit of Untouchables. I think we should listen. I should have played more of mine.
No, that was good though.
Oh, it's just outstanding. I could just let it go on for the whole track. Oh my God, what a great score. Oh
yes,
my
baby.
God,
yes,
brilliant.
Okay, number two. The maestro, the one, the only, John Williams. You know, as much as I love his Superman score, as much as I revere his Indiana Jones work, I was so close to picking Star Wars, just like you did. But then I remembered E.T. I mean, that score was so good that Spielberg cut the film to the score. And the last, the last 10 minutes or whatever, the chase scene, where they take off on the bikes and they fly to the forest and the ship comes back, just all of that.
Yeah,
just incredible.
The through the moon shot with the music, that all works hand in hand. It's one of those things where I haven't seen E.T. in so long, and I can still remember the score. you know,
I think, and this is a bold statement, but like the moment when they take off on their bikes and the score, the theme music kicks in, like that's like one of the best. It's just synergy of image and music in film. That's so incredible.
The skate.
Yeah.
We're playing all of your songs, even though we didn't play mine, but it didn't occur to me that I should play them. We really should go back and do mine again and play all my songs, but I won't. Let's get to the chase part.
It's a long track.
Kind of has a little bit of a Danny Elfman quality in this one, a little bit. Or maybe it was the other way around. Just much more chaotic in this one than say like the Star Wars, which is just grand and signature John Williams. That's a great pick. I'm gonna have to rewatch that.
I highly recommend it. I watched it a few months ago. It's brilliant. It's beautiful.
You know what really killed it is, for me, it killed my buzz a little bit, was when they CGI'd E.T.
Oh, I don't watch that. No, yeah.
How do you watch it? Is the original puppet out on streaming anywhere?
Maybe.
I want to see the puppet.
I still have some of my physical media, and I do have. My DVD copy had the original theatrical version, or my Blu-ray, so I still have that.
Very good. Well, some things you just don't mess with, and I don't know. I'm partial to puppets over CGI, pretty much almost every case.
They gave them, instead of rifles, what did they have? Like bats or something, or batons, or whatever. Okay, so yes, in my favorite film score, I actually did have to go very personal for this one. But the movie would not be the same without it. Magnolia by John Bryan.
We're big Magnolia fans here.
We are. You won't hear too many bad things about Magnolia on this podcast.
If it were me, and this were top 5 songs, I would absolutely put an Amy Mann one in there. I'm not really sure which one, but probably Save Me.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Let's share this. They've got a little bit of it here. Unfortunately, on the music, it's all Amy Mann songs. Not unfortunate, but I just can't get the score. The John Bryan score. Let's see.
It's obscure. Oh, that's John Bryan though. Yeah.
Yeah. That's quite beautiful. He's just got a great list here.
He also co-produced a couple of Kanye West's early albums.
Really?
He did, yeah.
The good ones?
Yes, the good ones, the pretty crazy ones.
Well, he's really done the full gamut of P.T. Anderson.
Yeah, he did. Well, yeah. I mean, he did the he was the early P.T. Anderson because before There Will Be Blood. But yeah, he did Punch Drunk Love and I Heart and Magnolia, obviously.
Well, that's a pretty good list. I think in fairness, in order to keep things fair, I am going to go back and I'm going to play my one. I'm going to pick one, and I'm going to go with Requiem for a Dream, so we can all take a listen to my picks. It just builds. I'll just jump us into the middle. I'm gonna be on television. I'm gonna be on television. Ma, what are you taking those pills for, Ma? I'm gonna be on television. I'm gonna wear red dress.
Ass to ass.
Ass to ass. Yeah, that's a very sad movie. We laugh, but it's extremely sad.
I'm probably never going to watch that movie again, to be honest. It's just maybe, but I watched it once, then I watched it again, and I was like, I'm good. It's a very good movie, but holy shit.
There was something else he did recently that I was watching, and in order to mentally prepare myself for it, let's see what it was. I went back and I watched Requiem. Let's see what I was watching. Oh, The Whale. It's because I went to see The Whale.
That makes sense. I was going to suggest that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I watched. I decided to check in on. It's good. It's still good. It's very sad. It's what's really quietly one of the most stunning things about that movie is how good Marlon Wayans is as an actor. He is
I agree.
such a good actor.
Yeah, he's very underrated.
And I liked Wayans Brothers, and I liked all of his stuff, but like he was silly. He's a silly actor, and in this one, it's like, dang, you're like good. You're a really good actor. I'm really surprised that didn't blow him up. I guess not that he really needed to be blown up, but
right. Yeah. I guess maybe he just didn't want to do more stuff like that,
Well, I think it's time we can move into our bit. We're making really, really good time today. Hopefully this episode is a little shorter for people since the last ones have been so long, but it's time to move into our segments here. So, if I may, have the envelope, please. So today we're going to go through the scores, and we're going to go through the scores, and we're going to make our picks today, and we're also going to go through the original songs. Let me get our tracker up so I can see what we got. So let's do, since we've done a bunch of scores and we talked about scores, let's just proceed with the scores. And I've got them queued up here. We can kind of take a little trip through the scores. So what have we seen, first of all, in original score? Let's see.
I think I'm still
I sent you the new episode book, by the way, in Facebook. I don't know if you saw it. So we've got, you haven't seen The Fabelmans, and you haven't seen Babylon, and you haven't seen All Quiet. I've closed out score, so I've seen all of those, and I've also seen Banshees and Everything Everywhere, which you saw. So why don't we first talk about the ones that we didn't see, or that you didn't see, so that we can we could close out with movie discussion, since it's a little more difficult to talk about how the scores impacted the movie. So let's first, I got it queued up here. Let's look at Babylon. This one's called King of the Circus.
Okay.
So that's one thing. I'm surprised, just looking through this this list here, I'm surprised this one wasn't up for best song.
There's one pet I like to pet. Every evening we get set. I stroke it every chance I get. It's my girl's pussy. Seldom plays and never purrs.
Do you think My Girl's Pussy did not get nominated because they did not want to say My Girl's Pussy on TV?
No. Well, probably. I believe technically it is not an original song.
Oh, it's not an original song.
No.
Oh, that's right, because there was that dirty jazz era where everyone sang the original ones.
Yeah, I think it's actually a song from that era.
Oh, I see. Well, let's take a look at another one. This one's called "See You Back in L.A." It'd be nice if the Academy told us which song from the score got them the nomination.
Right, yeah, what they submitted.
That one's set here. Let's listen to the title track, the titular Babylon track.
Yes, yes.
So that was loud.
Yeah.
So Babylon. So how are we feeling about that one? We think we've done enough Babylon?
Yeah, I think I have an idea about my Babylon position.
Okay.
At least in terms of voting.
So next we're gonna move on to we'll do All Quiet on the Western Front next. Let's see here what we got. Oh, there's so many. Let's listen to this one's called War Machine. So that's pretty scary. Let's see if we can find, ooh, this one's probably sad. It's called Dog Tags. Let's hear. Okay, this one, very dreary. So far, it doesn't, something about the big drums of Babylon kept me pumped up. And I think, while I understand maybe in the context of the scene, it may work very well, but it's a little dreary. Let's listen to the titular track, All Quiet on the Western Front. Sure. It sounds very similar.
Yes, I agree.
I don't know. So you haven't watched it, but when you watch it, I don't know if I came. I think the score probably served the movie very well, but I didn't come away from that movie thinking about the score. I'll just be honest.
And I'm listening to it, and it sounds like it's a lot of like good work, you know. I understand like the musicians voting on it like might have been impressed by the quality of the work, but again, outside the context of the movie, I'm just kind of like, it's very atmospheric.
And Justin Hurwitz has La La Land credit behind him too. I just don't know if I don't think
that movie has a lot of love. I don't think Babylon has a lot of love behind it. So
yeah, I don't either. And it just because it wasn't as good as it should have been with the amount of talent behind it and all of the bells and whistles of the tech and the production design and the costumes and the music. It just didn't do it, but which Aquaman and the Western Front really did do it for me. I really thought that was a pretty phenomenal movie. I just don't know if the score is what made that a phenomenal. I don't know if the score really moved me in that direction. So the last one that I hope you see it soon is The Fabelmans. John, this is our boy. Let's see what he did. Let's take a look at you want to do let's do The Reverie. Sounds like this will be a fun one. Yeah, so that's beautiful.
And I instantly like started having emotions when you played that. Yeah,
and really and just simple piano too. Really didn't have to do much. Let's take a look. This one's called Mitzi's Dance. Seems like it's the same tune.
Same, yeah.
Let's find one that's a little different. Let's look at he has concertos and sonatas, or this is sonatina in C major, so he has some interesting stuff here. This one's called New House. Yeah, so we're starting to move into the string section here. So let's take a look at its titular, The Fabelmans track, and let's hear what they've got. I'm going to guess maybe it contains that signature song. But let's see. Totally different. Oh, well, that's been my favorite so far.
Definitely agreed. Yes.
Okay, so that was The Fablemans. I would say we're pretty high on that one so far.
Definitely.
Definitely at least high on it. And now we're going to go into the two movies where we have actually both seen. We have seen both of them. So why don't we start with the Banshees? There hasn't been much Banshee talk on this podcast so far, but despite that fact, I loved the Banshees of Inisherin.
Excellent film.
I loved it. I just thought it was just perfect in almost every way. And I'm guessing I don't recall the score off the top of my head, but I'm guessing the score is going to continue to impress, just much like the rest of it. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem that he has a titular track to make it easier for us to know what is the best track to listen to, having not listened to the whole album. So we'll just start with the beginning. We'll start with Night Falls on Inisherin. This is the second track on the album.
All right.
That sounds like what is probably in the trailer. Let's see if we got another. Let's see what else we've got. Let's do The First Finger. No spoilers for anyone, but this one's called The First Finger. Yeah, very dark, very, very appropriate. I'm just looking at his IMDb right now, and holy cow!
Oh yeah,
holy cow! Yeah, it just goes back so far.
And that music very much recalls. I mean, it makes me think of like Fargo.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see what else he's got in here. Oh, did the score of a Goofy movie. Let's see if he's got. Man, it's fun because the score.
I think he did our. He did a lot of Coen Brothers movies too, but he did our our sign off cue, little burn after reading.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, and Being John Malkovich also.
Right.
Wow, very good. Very good. Yeah, he's done. He's got a very good. Let's see what he's got to have won a ton. See what he's won. Yeah, so this is a big name. I think it's really interesting on the composers how since they're almost like not limited to a brand, you know what I mean? They can just really do. He's never won.
No. Right? Nominated a few times but never won.
Wow, he's not nominated for a single Coen Brothers movie?
Shit, no. Which is stupid.
Oh, that's insane. Okay, so he is really due then. He is mega due. Gosh, like seriously. Not even nominated for No Country?
For No Country, for Macbeth, for...
Oh, adaptation too. God, that had a great score. Man,
yeah, adaptation.
Big John Malkovich score, not nominated for that. How is that? Man, these must have been gnarly years. Oh, I do not know about that. This guy's definitely way, way, way overdue. Okay. That might take a little wind out of the sails of the John Williams being due because of how over.
Yes.
Well, let's listen to another track here. Let's see if we still feel good. I'll give him an extra. Let's look at this is called "My Life on Inisherin."
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that might have been the trailer track. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm sure at least that medley is. I'm sure it reappears throughout the that Bell's melody that he was playing.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, that is tough, and I also think in that case the score, even though I don't think of the score, I just know the context of that movie. I know that in the moment the score is doing a lot of work for that movie.
It does so much of the work, and without the score, the film would play in an entirely different way. So
absolutely. Yeah. So I think I definitely think that is interchangeably. I think right now, having not made it to Everything Everywhere yet, I would definitely say I'm bouncing between Fabelmans and Banshees at this point.
That sounds fair. That sounds fair.
Let's see what Everything Everywhere All at Once. Sun Lux is the composer, I believe. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
So let's see what we got here. Why don't we try? This is called "What a Fast Elevator." Oh, I remember. So this is when Kiwi reveals himself in the elevator, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, that's just tight. That just sounds awesome. I don't know. I'm glad that I'm not a voter on this, because I would feel bad choosing between these I have some music knowledge, but I wouldn't say I'm not a music professor or anything, but that just fucking slapped. Exactly. I don't know what else to say. That's just a tight. It bounces. It's got it all. It does it for me. Let's look at this imdb here. So really,
this is their first film score, I believe. I'm looking at on Wikipedia here.
I see Looper. I guess they performed on Looper. But yeah, I'm not seeing a ton of stuff here score wise. Oh no! Yeah. Well.
Oh, the disappearance of Eleanor Rigby. It looks like they did some music for that too. But yeah. This is just, they're like this experimental music, instrumental group.
Well, pretty tight. It's a band?
Yeah.
Oh, Interesting. Oh, I see. Here, I'll read it. Sunlux is a geographically and culturally diverse band with Rafiq Bhatia, I'm going to say these names wrong, I'm sorry, Ian Chang and Ryan Lott, each bringing their unique sonic approach to create an otherworldly whole. Sounds very pretentious, but at any rate, that song slapped. Let's take a look at another. Let's take a look at this one's called the Alpha Verse. Yeah, so that's pretty moody. Let's see another one here. God, there's like literally like 40 songs on this album.
Everything Everywhere.
Oh my gosh. So this one's called Evelyn All at Once. So I'm gonna guess this was following. Oh, sorry, that was not right. That was not correct. This one's called Evelyn All at Once. I made a mistake. Here we go. Very good. Okay, this is probably their titular track here, or not, but this is called This Is a Life. Is that not the name of the song, too? What is the song?
This Is a Life is the song.
So I don't know if this counts then. Let's just listen to it, but I don't know if this counts because if this is just a variation on a song that someone else wrote, so I'm not going to count this in their favor. But let's hear. Oh, you know what? I see why because this is the song. They also wrote the song.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
I see.
Like listening to it, I'm like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's very good. Those couple, just based on that. I mean, there's 40 songs. We just can't go through all 40 of them. But what do you think? Where do we stand on this? They're going to get a lot of awards.
Do we want to do our picks? Are you ready?
Well, let's just discuss everything.
Or do you want to do a
first.
Discussion first?
Just a quick everything everywhere discussion.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can somehow seamlessly segue it into your pick, just make sure that I have time to play the sound clip. But I think they're all solid choices. I think Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think this nomination honestly is part of just like the nomination sweep and the enthusiasm for this movie. It's a really good score and it's definitely a part of the film, but I think Academy voters are a very traditional, conservative leaning group. And in terms of their voting, it might be a little out there, outside the box. Yes. It's not as, even though for me, it slaps. It's not digestible like that Fableman's titular track. That is
right.
That is easy. That is easy on the ears. I don't know. It's very good, and the movie, and I'm sure it aided the movie, but it's not that movie. On the other hand, you could have really done a lot of scores, and I think that movie still would have worked because there's tons of stuff going on. There's tons of eye candy, tons of great performances, great script. It's just that movie works because everything works. So I don't know if the score is going to really set itself apart in the context of that movie as being a reason for it to be a Best Picture nominee. Whereas, like, I do think in Banshees and Fabelmans, I do think those scores played major parts in the movie a little more so than this. And also, the first time film nominee and win when we have a 30-year drought for John Williams, and we have no Oscars for Carter. I just think that is it's that's it. It's going to be one of those two. They both delivered, and they both deserve because of their history. That has a recipe for success, and that's why I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to.
May I have the envelope, please?
I wonder if we're on the same page here. We'll see.
Like when Randy Newman finally won his Oscar that year, that's all we were thinking was, oh my gosh, it's time for Randy Newman to win an Oscar. I don't even care if this song isn't even in my top 5 of his songs. Like, that's it. And the thing is with Carter Burwell, I just don't know if he has the Randy Newman name recognition to where people are going to see what we saw, and
he doesn't. No, and let me say this too. It doesn't. Banshees is a great score. It helps the film immensely in the context of the film, but it doesn't have like a theme that pops out that that sticks in your ear that you walk out like humming or snapping your fingers to. It doesn't have that.
Yeah, and there's some great moments in the Fabelmans. Like, for example, you'll see where he like plays his movies, and the music behind the movie, like while people are taking in his films, and like there's a scene where his mom dances next to a shadow screen, and it's like, or not next to a shadow, where she like dances in like a dark shadow. Type situation, and it looks and the music, you can't really even see that well. It's like not even like anything to the shot, but it's all music, it's all music. And so that's why I'm going with Fabelmans.
I am too. I haven't even seen it yet, but I just think it's John Williams. He's going to get another one. It's maybe his final.
I think so too. And you know what that means, right? Do you know what that means? Hold on, I have to show you what it means. It means Matt Damon. We are in agreement, and therefore it is a wash. But I think we're going to get that one right. Why don't we go back and just make sure one real quick on that Fabelmans. Let's just listen to that opening song one more time and just make sure that we're pleased with our pick, because a lot of people are depending on us to get this one right. So let's just jump here in the middle. Oh yeah, that's a winner. Oh, that's gonna be beautiful.
I can just hear it playing as John Williams. Yeah, and as he makes his way to the stage to accept his Oscar.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's it. What an outstanding piece of music. Yeah, so Fabelmans. Next! Okay, well that does it for score. We've made our picks, so we're going to close out. There's only the good thing about songs is they are only the songs, so we don't have to listen to a bunch of tracks. So it should go a little faster. But we'll start from the first one. We'll just see where we're at on the thing here. Where is song? So I haven't seen
songs, yeah.
So I haven't seen RRR. Is that what it's called? Is it literally called RRR?
Yes.
So everyone was that movie had so much buzz, especially for a streaming movie, where everyone was like, this is like crazy how good this movie is. And like the visual effects are nuts and the directing is nuts. And I had kind of thought that it would appear all over the Oscar ballot. And then I would see it because it would get there. But then this is the only nomination it got, right? I mean, this is it.
Yeah.
You know,
it's not even like an international feature, no.
And so I haven't seen it. And maybe I will go back and see it, but I mean that just tells me that if it was completely blocked out when it had as many people talking about it over the summer, that either maybe it's just below the mark. But I'll check it out. But why don't we start with Natu Natu? Do you know what that means?
No, but we should look that up.
Yeah, why don't you Google it while I play it so we can know. So this is called Natu Natu.
Not salsa, not flamenco, my brother. Do you know Natu?
What is Natu?
పొలం గట్టు దుమ్ములోన పోట్ల గిట్ట దూకినట్టు పొలేరమ్మ జాతరలో పోతరాజు ఊగినట్టు కిర్రు సెప్పులేసుకొని కర్ర సాము చేసినట్టు మర్రి సొట్టు నీడలోన కుర్ర గుంపు కూడినట్టు ఎర్ర జొన్న రొట్టెలోన మిరప దొక్కు కలిపినట్టు నా పాట చూడు నా పాట చూడు నా పాట చూడు నాటు 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 తీర నాటు 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 ఊర నాటు
I've had enough of this nonsense.
Well, that song's awesome.
It's a banger for sure.
The dancing is, you can't see the YouTube video, but the dancing is tight. That's going to be much like Blame Canada, where at the Oscars, we're going to get a show. We're going to get an awesome show with awesome dancing, and then it's going to lose.
Yes. I mean, it has those those Jio vibe. Remember the Slumdog performance?
Yeah.
It has those vibes. Yeah, but nope. Sorry.
Do you know? It says on here. I've seen this twice. The first time I saw it, I thought it was a typo, but they called it Tollywood with a T, and not Bollywood. Do you know what that indicates?
Good Lord. Oh, is this in a nominate? Wait, where are you seeing this?
No, just in the movie is called, like Bollywood. That's what we called that these Indian
the
films.
genre,
Yeah, but for some reason twice I have now seen it called Tollywood with a T. Do you know what that is? Have you ever heard of that?
I have not.
Well, I thought it was a typo the first time I saw it, but then I saw it again, and so now I don't think it's a typo. I think it's just a thing.
Hold on. I have an answer for you. I do. Tollywood is an Indian film industry of Bengali language motion pictures. So it's part of the Bollywood film industry, I guess.
I see. Well, the dancing is so rad in this video, and it's the two actors doing the dancing, and I think the two actors are set to perform as well.
I see. Okay. Sorry, to be more specific, because it's Indian cinema is a large umbrella. Tollywood specifically produces films in the Telugu language, which is a specific dialect.
Oh, interesting. So did you find out what Natu Natu means?
Natu Natu is an ethnic term. It translates variously to native, local, countryside, ethnic, raw, and rustic. So,
interesting. God, I just cannot wait to see this at the Oscars. That is just going to be awesome. The dancing's so tight and fast. They look like they're all going to hurt themselves when they do it. That's how you know it's good. So we're going to just cross that one off the list, even though it's going to be awesome and deserves its nomination. I just don't see it happening, especially against all of these other people. So the other one that I haven't seen and you haven't seen is Applause from Tell It Like a Woman. I must confess, I don't know what Tell It Like a Woman is. What is this?
I looked it up. It's a documentary.
Is it nominated?
No.
It is not.
Forgive me. It is not a doc. It is an anthology film. It's an Italian-American anthology film.
Not nominated for foreign feature. Yeah, it's not. I don't know.
No. 7 short stories directed by women, about women, for everyone, both in front of and behind the camera.
I'm sure it's great. I'm not a big fan of anthology films in general. And to be fair, this was a nomination for Diane Warren. This is sure.
She has picked up that Randy Newman bridesmaid slack with pride, I might say. I don't think she's going to win this year, but maybe she will one day.
Well, let's listen to it and see what they got here. See if we like it.
Recognize who you are. Sometimes I know it's so hard, but you shine. You're a supernova superstar. They can't stop you. You're born unstoppable. Dance to know that you're remarkable. Stand up, raise your hands up, yeah. Give yourself some applause, you deserve it. Give yourself some respect, cause you've earned it. Give yourself some love, cause you're worth it. Yeah. Let them know you know it. Go and show you own it. You're bold, you're bad, you're strong. So give yourself some applause. Give yourself some.
Woo! Well, that's going to be emotional and good. So that will be excellent live. Let's take a look at Lady Gaga.
Hold my hand, everything will be okay. I heard from the heavens that clouds have been gray. Pull me close, wrap me in your aching arms. I see that you're hurting. Why'd you take so long to tell me you need me? I see that you're bleeding. You don't need to show me again. But if you decide to, I'll ride in this life with you. I won't let go till the end. So bright tonight, but don't you let go of my hand. You can cry every last tear. I won't leave till I understand. Promise me, just hold my hand.
Woo! That's going to be at karaoke every night for the rest of our lives. That is great.
I mean, I will say, I thought when I saw Top Gun last summer, I walked out thinking that was the winner. I was like, they're going to finally give Gaga an Oscar for that one after, her previous nominations, I guess, over the past few years. But
Shallow won, didn't it?
Shallow. Actually, you know what? I take that back. She did win for Shallow, so she already has an Oscar. Yeah, for original song.
I didn't even think that was the best song in that movie, in that very sad movie. Yeah. And I think they did the Jason Isbell one, or maybe I can't remember who wrote it. I like the one that was "Maybe it's time to let the old ways die." I like that one better. But you were not going to beat Shallow. You're not going to beat the karaoke crowd. So yeah, whoa, that's gonna be a big one. Let's put that on the maybe list, and we're gonna move on to Rihanna. And this one's called "Lift Me Up." It's from Wakanda Forever, which last week we learned that you kind of liked okay, and I thought it kind of stunk. So take that for what you will.
There you go.
Lift me up, hold me down, keep me close, safe and sound. Burning in a hopeless dream, hold me when you go to sleep. Keep me in the warmth of your love when you depart. Keep me safe, safe and sound. Lift me up, hold me down, keep me close, safe and sound.
Yeah, so that's great.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if it pumps me up like Lady Gaga, but I don't know. It is Rihanna.
It doesn't pump you up, but it makes you feel.
It makes me feel. I wish I had liked the movie better.
That's fair.
It makes me feel like the movie should have given me
been
more
better.
options. That's what it makes me feel like. Okay, well, let's move on to our last one since we're kind of running out of time here.
Yeah, sure.
This last one's from Everything Everywhere All at Once, David Byrne, Ryan Lott, and Mitski. Let's give it a listen here. I do love David Byrne, so.
This is a life free from destiny. Not only what we sow, not only what we show. This is a life.
Every possibility
from destiny.
I choose you and you choose me.
Not only what we sow, not only what we show. This is a light.
Many lives that.
That one's cool. I love David Byrne.
Very cool.
So David Byrne brings a little bit of star power. Doesn't necessarily bring Lady Gaga and Rihanna star power, but brings some star power to the table.
Agreed.
Beautiful, weird song.
Really represents the film, too.
Really does. They're going to get a lot of awards.
Probably not this one.
You know what?
May I have the envelope, please?
I just think, just for the radio play on its own, and the fact that It's going to be at karaoke forever. I'm going with Lady Gaga for this one.
Are you?
I am.
Are you?
I'm not 100% on it. I'm not 100% on it, but it just, I think when we see it live too, I think we're going to go, oh my gosh, like I when it hits those big drum beats and all that, I don't know. This is a really tough one. I would say if my second choice will probably be Lift Me Up. But again, I don't think the movie was that great, and I don't think it added much. And honestly, I'm more certain about Lady Gaga winning than I think if it were me, the scary pick is This Is a Life, because I do think that has a pretty good chance just with the sheer amount of nominations. But I think it's another
disagree.
Lady Gaga win.
Hard disagree. Lift Me Up is going to win.
You are going with Black Panther.
Yes, I am, because yes, the film may have been subpar, but the song is lovely. The song is evocative, and they're going to have some way to have someone say something about Chadwick Boseman again. Something. I mean, I know they had words about him last year, but I think the memory of Chadwick Boseman card is going to play into a win for this song in this category.
But it has been kind of a while. I mean, wasn't he in the ceremony last year? Wasn't he part of the? He died before the Oscars last year.
I'm trying to think. He died in 2020, and then there was the 2021 Oscars where he was nominated. Yeah. Well, yes, it has been a while, but the film itself had not come out yet. I just think that's going to play into it a lot. Especially because Angela Bassett's momentum has slowed down somewhat too. I have a feeling. I could be wrong.
She's also Rihanna's coming off a Super Bowl performance too, and that doesn't help things for me.
Right.
But for you, I would say that helps you quite a bit. But I don't know. I think I think
people are more interested. Yeah, I don't think people are as interested in the Top Gun song. I mean, I like it just fine, but
why wouldn't they be? They're not as interested as Shallow, for sure. You've made me question my pick. Part of me thinks, and see, the thing is, I think this is also this has a potential to be a vote splitter that will open it up for Everything Everywhere to pull it up. And David Byrne is also having a moment right now.
It's about optics at a certain point. I mean, this is a political situation. It's Hollywood politics.
Yeah, but would this be Marvel's first Oscar too? Aside from visual effects?
No. Black Panther won original score.
So again, I think that's a knock against you. I think we've already given this franchise our love, and I
think it's another. I think though that could be continuity as well, though it could also be a knock against me. You're right.
Also, how many times do people watch that Shallow performance on the internet after that ceremony? I think the Oscars love Lady Gaga. I think she is just, she's just what they love. She appeals to the old people. She appeals to the young people. The song just is so good. I don't know.
It could be something for Top Gun, because I don't know how well it's going to do otherwise. I'm having doubts too. I'm not sure, but I'm leaning into.
Okay. Well, it's important that we have some differences, but I don't know. And This Is a Life, while I do really appreciate it, I just don't know. This is a really good category to give to someone popular to someone just extremely, extremely popular, you know. But so I do think we're probably right that it comes down between Gaga and Rihanna. But if they're a vote splitting situation, that really opens it up. But at least we're in agreement that Natu is going to be the coolest one to watch live.
Oh, for sure.
That's going to be really awesome. Okay, well, I think that wraps us up for this music episode. We did a very good job going through all of these.
Yes.
I should have played more of my top 5 scores, but we're a little over time, so I probably only had time for Requiem for a Dream anyway. Do you have any plugs you want to give? Your cabaret is next weekend, so.
Yeah, a week from today, Dr. K's Oscar Cabaret sequel and Grease Party at Davenport's in Chicago. Check out davenportspianobar.com. Check out the website. You can buy tickets online there. And making reservations online in advance is the way to go. If I do say so myself, helps us know how many people are going to be in the house.
Well, I wish I could be there. I wish I lived in Chicago, but I live in Texas, so I won't be there. But I will be there in spirit. If I did show up, I would insist that I be allowed to sing a song. So
I will let you.
Thank you. Very good. That's what I'm talking about.
How was your closing? Did your play close?
It actually closes tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It's sold out, and by the time this comes out, it will already be over anyway. So I don't really need to plug it. But Stolen Shakespeare Guild, Winter's Tale. I'm playing Leontis the King, and that ends this weekend. You're all gonna miss it, but it's sold out, so that's very exciting for me. And next week is we have to put up or shut up next week. This next episode is the last one before the ceremony, so we're gonna go through the ballot. It's gonna be a ballot heavy episode. We're gonna make our final picks, and we're gonna argue, and we're gonna scream at each other. And it's gonna get very violent at times. But at the end of the day, we're gonna come out with 2 Oscar ballots worthy of consideration.
Ballyhooey Hollywood. When the office for a young mechanic can be a panic with just a good-looking can. And any barmaid...
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah, I stabbed a man in the heart.
I saw that. Brick killed a guy. Did you throw a trident?
Yeah, there were horses and a man on fire, and I killed a guy with a trident.
Brick, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. You should find yourself a safe house or a relative close by. Lay low for a while, because you're probably wanted for murder.